What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn. I am Al the Geek. It's a bi-weekly show here on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel with myself and one Captain Xavier, where we talk about everything foam flinging related. Now, if you haven't done so already, be sure to go over to worldfoamalliance.org. Apparently, I can't speak today. Worldfoamalliance.org. No, yeah, one dot. Let's stop that there. Yeah, worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register. Why do we want you to why do we want you to register? Man, if I was drinking tonight or if I had like a
Who
cocktail
put
at dinner,
the
it makes
move
sense.
in charge?
I Who put me in charge, man? It's maybe like all those yeah, I have like acorns like stuffed in my cheek or something. Anyways, worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register. The whole point and purpose of what the World Foam Alliance is that there are so many of us, so many of you all over the world, all over the country, probably all over your own county, city, village, or wherever it is you live. It's just sometimes you don't even realize you're there. Point is, what we're trying to do is to connect you all. That way, we have one central place. You can find other foam flingers. What does that mean? More events, more parties, more fun, men, and we just keep growing the hobby. Also, right here in the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel, don't forget to register. Hit that like button, please. The more we can grow this channel, the better we get. The better we get, we can actually get money. We can get money. Wow, money. We can actually pay for things. If you didn't know already, we are technically a nonprofit, whether we want it to be or not. What does that mean? We make no money. Everything we do, we do it for free. The only thing that we're really committing is minimum amounts of dollars that we can, but it's a lot of our free time because this is something we want to do. We have a lot of fun doing what we do. Plus, never mind the fact that when we do it, man, it's growing the hobby. It's great for so many things. So this is why we do it. In other news, there will be an announcement about Foam's Giving. The date most likely will be moved. So again, we will make an official announcement. I know you're going to ask me another 10 questions right now. Just hold off. There will be an announcement. But yeah, that is coming. In other news, I was in the Pacific Northwest, not this past weekend, the weekend before. I went to go visit one Captain Xavier. If you haven't seen it already, be sure to go check out his YouTube channel. The first thing we did when we landed is on the Friday, we actually did a live stream. Why? Because it was, well, we'll tell you that shortly, but make sure to check out that video. Also, from Foam's Giving last year, you all paid a lot of money to see me get lit up by a proton pack, and we did execute that. And there we go. We have it. It's going to be up. Be sure to check that out as well. We did have Hixie from the A team that came down as well. I know you're looking. What about Anthony Maritime Foam? He bought a house and things like that, so he was kind of excused. So Hixie was happy to substitute as our, I guess, mandatory Canadian for this visit. Since some think I'm not Canadian, but I am, but I'm not because I'm a dual citizen. Not the point. We have those videos. But back to what happened last week. Captain Xavier, man, what's shaking, brother?
I don't know, man. Having you two visit was fun. Seeing you get hosed was awesome. It's just always fun. What? Let's watch it again. It's a short video. It doesn't take long to dump a proton pack because we're using my max rate of fire Jupiter, which fires like 30 rounds a second if you just hold the trigger down, which is amazing. But it will go through a standard proton pack real quick. Yeah.
Oh, tell them about the video with the live stream we did on Friday. I figured better if you tell it than me.
So live stream on Friday was a Friday fan mail. It was my 200th Friday fan mail because people are awesome and have been sending me stuff for years, and those videos pile up. And one of the items that I had received was sent to me by the fine fellow who's going to be our special guest today, and that was ThaMoose. Al and I were both sent a Moxen each, as well as Elk A9s, the Auto 9, the Robocop-looking pistols. And so we did that live stream, and it was fun. Lots of questions asked, and it was loads of fun. And so we've got him here today to talk about stuff. I have questions, and I'm sure Al has questions, and hopefully you guys have some questions. We will not be able to do call-ins today, but we will hopefully be gandering at the comments and keeping track of that. And Moosis's lies. Moxen. Only proper plural is the EX, or the XEN plural.
Well, tell them about Sunday too,
Yeah.
because we even had more moose wander in.
Yeah, Dr. Flux came down with his much less powerful but much more colorful moose, and megadarts were flung upon the range, and we discovered that they're ridiculously accurate. I've never seen a mega blaster that accurate. I have trouble hitting the 100-foot target with my best half dart blasters, and I can reliably hit it with a mega dart now, which is just nuts. And I don't even have to arc it that much. I have no idea what the maximum range is. I don't have anywhere that I can fire at max range. I need to go to a football field or something, but I'm somewhat dubious about going onto a football field with what definitely looks like a sniper rifle. But yeah.
So the other thing is while myself and Hixie were up at Captain Xavier's compound, we also did Fort Borst, or the Borst War that happens, and it was the final one of the season. It was on the Saturday, and if you're in the Pacific Northwest and you get a chance, it is always it is a lot of fun. It is well organized. It is well run. The park itself, you have the old fort in the middle. You have trees on one side. You have open plains on other side. You have some topography. It makes it for a much more interesting field. Plus, you get some cover in between instead of like sometimes you get what you get and all you have is like an empty field. And as a result of it, I think what we have about 70, 80 people that came out.
Yeah, give or take. That's about what we usually get. At the height in the summer, we get more now, which is starting to stretch the limits of what we can really accommodate at Borst before you just start getting too dense. Not enough room, not enough cover. Even though we've added a lot more cover. We used to not bring any cover to Borst. We just had the trees that were there in the fort. Now we bring 24 pop-up tents to throw up, which definitely helps and is a lot of fun. The topography, the terrain at Borst it's extremely varied, which is both good and bad. It's good because it makes it more interesting. It's bad because it makes it hard to balance. Because it's such an asymmetric field, there's almost always a terrain advantage for one side or the other. So we usually run every game a couple of times and we make them switch sides. Just so everyone gets if there is an advantage, everybody gets it. Borst, we've been running Borst since 2016, so we've gotten good at it. We've gotten very efficient. We know how to set it up, how to run the rounds. Most of the players know how everything works now, though there's always new people. And you have to explain to the new people how things work. It was interesting. There was I don't know if we just had a lot of new people this last game or what, but no one was pushing the objectives. Everyone was just going into the middle and shooting at each other. No one was actually going to score the points. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's how you want to play, but it's kind of hard to determine who the winner is when nobody scores any points. And
for the record, there's no way I'm running, man. I was tactical moseying all day, so that wasn't on me, man.
Yeah, no, it's not on anyone in particular. Little kids typically don't understand it, and some people, they just want to go tag people. They don't want to have to think about objectives, which is perfectly fine. And then we had somebody show up. She comes back in the next day at the event at my place, and absolutely was MVP for her team. I think she got all of the objectives for the rest of the day. It was fabulous. The next day was the event at my place. That was, in addition to being a standard Makerspace Arena event, it was a birthday party for her son. So that was cool. I built him an auto strife. The only thing that was missing is they wanted it to be half dart, but they didn't have a half dart pusher for the auto kit. So I've invited them back to correct that, and I've ordered the parts. Look.
Of course you have.
Adapter. And it turns out there is, in fact, a hybrid pusher for the worker full auto kit. So I found it somewhere. I think I found it on eBay or somewhere. I've ordered it. It was like $6. Sure.
Yep, we can do that for
so
$6.
when they bring that back, it'll be open it up, drop it in, button it back up again. Should be fine. And then it will fire either half darts or full darts, depending on what mag adapter you use. So
It is true. I also wanted to mention for on Saturday. So at Boris, both Cap and I did bring our Moosin Moxin out. Well, you got a whole huge field, and people wanted to see it, especially ones that watch the live. So we did bring it out just to see how far we could shoot. And if you've been to Boris, or you're now planning to go to see what happened, we were trying to hit the fort from the parking lot, and with just a bit of an arc, we did it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And what on earth was that? Blaster's making noise because I left the battery in.
And so as a result of it now, we lucked out too. So as everyone knows, the Pacific Northwest is full of our Nerf tuber friends, and they all live fairly close. So we had Silver Fox out. We had Captain Xavier out, obviously. And by the way, if you ever want to see Cap run a field, he is the head admin. He's the one that runs it all. And it's funny, he's his happy, miserable self that keeps everybody in line in order. And it goes well. We also had Flux out with Coney Dog and Luchathor. And the best part was Luchathor had an idea. Luchathor volunteered to be shot by the Moose at a fairly close range because he wanted to film it where he put the camera between us. And so we did it, and he survived, but then I felt bad, so we filmed it shooting me, and then we shot Flux, and then I think we shot everybody, and I think he filmed it all. And I think at one point, wait, who shot him? I think he was shooting while he was drinking something, and it came. Either way, I'm hoping it turns out and he puts that video out because that's going to be fun, man. But yeah, everybody got shot by the Moose, and we all lived.
Welts all around. I think Silver Fox was there as well.
Yep. And he was selling
scared
stuff, man. This stuff really is great, man. If you don't have it, I love the belt catch.
It's such good quality. I was genuinely amazed and baffled at how good the quality is on the stuff. I was expecting, cheap AliExpress, just because I wasn't sure, where are they going to get this stuff made? And they were able to get really nice stuff made in all the colors.
Yep, and
now
I realized
I just need to get orange mag pouches because I covered up all of my beautiful orange scared gear with black mag pouches.
Well, don't you remember I had the discussion with you? I couldn't decide what color I was going to get. You think I would have got yellow or something else like that? And in this light, it looks green, but it is the yellow one.
Yeah, I don't think they had just a plain yellow, did they? They had safety yellow.
Yeah, it's like the fluorescent one anyway. So I got this one and realized, all right, it's all going to be like this. I went with white. But it'll be now I got this and white, and be careful, it's addictive, and I'm gonna buy more. The drop leg holsters also fit really nice, which is awesome. But yeah, I
considered getting theirs. I ultimately didn't go with their drop legs because I have my own entire holster ecosystem, and theirs wouldn't work with it because it doesn't have the right buckle for the hip. But I love the belt. I love the bandolier. Love the dump pouch. I will be getting more.
For the record, one of my buddy's wives, we left unnamed, may have just called this a chastity belt. So cosplay, there you go. It's the scared belt or the chastity belt. However you want to do it. Either way, support Silver Fox and Containment Crew and go buy one. How you use it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might not want to know, but as long as you're buying it, I'm happy.
The better they do, the more equipment they will make. There is talk of making more items. Potentially a universal holster, cloth mag pouches, just whatever we want. Bigger dump pouches. I'd like a bigger dump pouch.
Yes.
But, it was just, these were the things that they knew everyone would want.
Well, here's the other best part about it is that notice something on every piece. So notice that we have Velcro.
Velcro.
Notice this. Velcro. Notice this Velcro. You don't
Velcro.
have to just get the Velcro belt to parade all your patches. You can put patches on everything. Everything. Not the chastity belt, but everything else, man, you can put patches on. Wait, let me check. Even the yep. Velcro.
Yep. On
and
the bandolier.
Velcro. On the
It's
bandolier.
very, very cool. We've been wanting bright colored tactical gear forever. I managed to find some orange long ago and can't find it anymore, and now I don't have to.
No, that's reverse. Never mind. Yeah, man. This is yeah.
High fashion.
It's pretty cool.
The white looks great.
It does. But let's face it, it's gonna be so dirty. I'll let you know how well it washes.
Absolutely filthy. It'll just make it look worn in. Natural weathering.
Yes. Which reminds me, so this past weekend, again, Hixie went from your house, went home, I think, for about 6 hours, and came to my house. Sort of. On Friday, he went to Andrew, aka Dart Sweep. He went to Andrew's house on Friday because the Battle of Endor was happening on Saturday. I could not make it till about lunchtime just because I had other arrangements. So he crashed at Andrew's and then went to the Battle of Endor. So Endor happened on Saturday, and it was a lot of fun, as always. It was, again, about 87 people. So if you have been to Maryland Mayhem, not this last year, but the year before that, and the 11th hour was actually at the Maryland Nerf Herders playfield outside. So right beside there is this little forest, which they've been actually able to get to use for the Battle of Endor. Now, part of the arrangement was they'd have to go in and clear it out and make sure they did a dart sweep that was very effective. The funny thing is, as a result of how effective they've been in cleaning it and taking care of the property, the owner of the place, I guess, has taken upon himself or themselves to clean it out even more. And they're now renting it out for weddings and other things, man. We were there. There were still like things hanging in the trees where it's like I say, the chapel this way, you know what I mean? Dancing that way. It's like, I feel like they should get some credit for that. But hey, man, as long as they keep renting it, it was great. So we did the Battle of Endor on Saturday, and long rambling story just to get to my point, because let's see how clean this stays. I was just doing a tactical mosey. There is the video of me, 2 years ago at Nerf's Giving, Southern Maryland House of Nerf. I did a wipeout trying to hit the bucket. This time I didn't run. However, I effectively managed to do a full-on wipeout. I was walking to the field. Somehow a branch caught at the end of my shoe, stuck into the ground, and off I go somehow.
Moseyed right into the dirt.
Right into the dirt. I did not break anything, but it's like, really, man? Like, come on. And I think it was actually Boomstick Mods that said, Al, you're making me nervous. You keep falling at all my events. But Hixie was down for the Battle of Endor. And then Saturday, he actually came and crashed at my place. And then Sunday and Monday, we did the whole tour thing. On Sunday, I took him over to Udvar Hazy. Udvar Hazy, if y'all don't know, it's the other end space museum in the DC area. There's the one downtown, which is cool. But then the one out by my place is just a giant hangar. And it has everything from a space shuttle, a Blackbird, the Enola Gay, a Concorde, an F-14, an F-4U Corsair, missiles, you name it, satellites. Everything's in it.
Knockoff Japanese Messerschmitt 262 that I didn't even know existed, but I saw it underneath the Enola Gay, and I'm like, that almost looks like a Messerschmitt 262, but it looks like one you got off of Wish. And so I looked it up, and that's exactly what it was. It's like, oh,
that they do have.
New.
You know what else they have now? And a guy told me where he got it from, and I can't remember. But they're putting together, and I'm not sure where they're going to hang it or put it up, but there will be a B-17.
Ooh.
There will be a B-17, which I'm very excited about. And it came in most of its pieces. It's like it should be an easy reassemble and placement, not as opposed to like a full-on restore.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. But yeah, those are the two events we did. And then even on Monday, took them downtown and we did the whole monument thing and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. It's been a busy week, to say the least. Never mind that you dropped a certain video of a Goodwill hunt.
Yeah, I did the Goodwill hunt that you guys were in on, and then some of the range footage and whatever other random footage I have from your visit. I'm terrible at remembering to film anything during visits or events. I need a
You're not any
cameraman.
better.
No,
Yes.
but yeah, I picked you up, took you straight to a Goodwill outlet. Picked up Hixie, took him straight to a Goodwill outlet. And I had somebody in the comments point out that sometimes the verbiage that we use sounds very disparaging towards people who shop at Goodwill outlets, which is not the goal. It's the satire is that they're filthy. The place itself. There's a reason I don't film the insides of Goodwill outlets. The first time I went to one, it was genuinely shocking and somewhat traumatizing. And so we made jokes about it, and it just became an ongoing bit.
Yep.
But I obviously am in no position to judge anyone for shopping at a Goodwill outlet. I shop at Goodwill outlets, but I do it because I'm looking for a real bargain. A lot of the people that are there, they're there because Goodwill outlet is the cheapest place to shop. There is nowhere cheaper. There are no cheaper thrift shops, nothing, because you buy things by weight. So a jacket that they would probably sell at a Goodwill for $10, $15 is going to be 50 cents. And if you're real down on your luck, that makes a difference between being warm and being cold in the winter. So, the jokes are not meant to be at the expense of the people who actually shop there, though they in the past definitely have been. And I plan to work on that going forward. But it's really just the fact that I've gone to Goodwill outlets and found rusty razor blades and broken glass and used needles. They're filthy and terrifying. But
Also, in your defense, because now both times I've been there, you've taken me. And I am very much a people watcher and a people person, and I can observe there are that, but there's still a large percentage of very aggressive people that wait for
when
the
the
new
new
bins
bins come
that are
out,
clearly looking for stuff to sell, man. And like sometimes I feel like you need shin guards. So my first trip there, I was a little nervous about it and apprehensive. The second trip out there, you kind of I'm over the craziness of it, but then I also stop and evaluate. Let's face it, if you don't know the two of us and we're not smiling, me and Captain Xavier walking into some place, the first thing you don't think is, oh, look, they're very friendly and cuddly. You look at that and go, wow, that's 500 pounds of humanity with beards and they don't look happy. So I took advantage of that perceived, maybe I want to push them, and I waded into one. I didn't push or anything like that, but clearly I wasn't moving. I was standing my ground, and then I got to rummage as well. Mostly I did it, people that were clearly doing it to make money and not the ones you could tell the ones that it's like Chalo said. You know what I mean? They don't have much and they need stuff. Those people I did not like push or interfere. I gave them as much space as they wanted. The one that would kind of bump by me many times as they're running to get stuff to sell, yeah, that's a little different game we're playing. And it's kind of a very subtle, without opening my mouth way of like, learn some manners, please.
yeah, when new bins come out, it can get a little bit hectic. But
Yes.
yeah,
But
we
fun.
then went to some proper Goodwills, and then obviously the two events, and there was food to be had, and there was shenanigans. And then I had a bunch of extra footage from previous Goodwills I had already gone to, and then I went on a thrifting run this last weekend. Went to a toy fair with Sergeant Deplorable, found some good stuff. There's actually probably the most interesting item that I found at the toy fair didn't make it into the video because I forgot it in the car.
What was it?
I'll have to go grab it. I'll be right back. I'm going to go wander into the dark.
All right, while he wanders in the dark,
we'll see
quickly,
if the mic can get all the way there.
Hold on. Dustin has asked me, I still got to paint it better and I still got to put on the visor. But yeah, that is my Mando mask that I haven't finished yet. But I still want to make it better. But yeah, and I got to figure out how to put a visor without like making it all work. But yeah, that's the notice how the size of this thing. Why? Because I have a huge cranium. It's all rocks and stuff, man. It is all rocks. All right. Quickly, while he's doing that, I look at the chat. Yes, I am a huge airplane nerd. I collect actually diecast model aircraft, man. 1:72 scale. I have over 200 of them, and usually I have them up on this wall, and they're not because my shop has taken over my basement. But that will change soon, where I can get part of some of my hobbies back on there. The other problem with this wall is I keep getting moose, and they keep going on a rack over here, but they will have great places for them. What else do we got? A birth control belt. Yeah, kind of. Charleston Nerf Club is the closest thing to me.
Any good
Oh,
comments?
you got it?
I'm back.
Anyways, let's see what you got. What you got? Holy cow.
In-box 18-round drum.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
How much?
Original streamlined darts.
The greatest
they
darts
had
ever.
2 of them. I was really tempted to grab them both, but I didn't want to be too greedy, so I grabbed the one that the box was in slightly better condition. It's for some reason covered in soot.
Someone kept it at the cabin?
I don't know. But it was a Target exclusive because the drum originally came with the original Alpha Trooper, which was also a Target exclusive. And I don't believe I ever bought one when they were originally in Target because I didn't live anywhere near a Target when I first got into Nerf, and those were in the store. But I've always loved the 18-round drum. I don't know why. I just really like them. I never use them because I have 22-round worker straight mags that fit better in magazine pouches, but I have an inordinate number of 18-round drums.
They look great on my Slingfire Master Keys, but I can't show that here because last time I did that, we got booted. So just imagine.
I had a package arrive yesterday that demonstrates a flaw in my personality.
Uh-oh.
One of many.
I'm going to guess it's Lego related.
No.
Oh my, what? You got to be kidding me, man.
So these are hard to find, and people are generally consider themselves lucky if they have one because they're rare. And they're rare because I have them all.
How did you, someone sent you a box of that?
Someone was selling a bunch of stuff on Facebook, including 7 Titan rockets in pristine condition.
What?
He also had a bunch of homemade ones.
Oh, dear
little
Lord.
one. That uses a smaller post, but he sent me 2 of the 3D printed posts for them. So yeah, I got 7 more, plus the good folks that I ran the Nerf War for gave me another one. I don't know how many I have anymore. I lost count somewhere above 50.
Do you even know where they all are?
Yes. They're in a series of bins.
Yeah. Sorry, let me rephrase that question. Do you know where those series of bins are?
I know where one of them is. On the back of my
That was the answer I was expecting.
I think I know where the other one is. I mean, I do have an all Titan rocket loadout that I have yet to get a chance to run. I do want to eventually. True. I went to all the trouble to build a self-pumping Titan rocket launcher. You'd think I would get around to running the Titan loadout.
That's a great video. People haven't seen it. You know what? This is a good transition. Well, first, one thing, slides note. I noticed at Boris, I forgot to mention, also Xfox Games was there. He's always out at these things. Just be careful. He runs around and it's hard to shoot him and stuff like that. And he's pretty good at what he does. But yeah, Joe is always out at all the events, and he was out on Sunday too, which is a lot of fun. So again, shout out to Xfox who just showed up in the room. But also, if you all didn't know or didn't read or are on a different planet, which I understand, or are spaced out, we do have a guest tonight. Tonight we do have one Eric ThaMoose. If you don't know who Eric is, you'll recognize what he makes. He has taken the mega the Mega Dart and made the premier sniper blaster that actually shoots the thing half across the room. To give you an idea, when he gave me my Moose 2, we were in Dallas, and at that point, when the convention was emptying and I could shoot it, and the convention center is huge, man, I shot that, man. I'm gonna have to say, with a good arc, 70 or 80 yards. It was ridiculous. It was the size of a football field, but it's awesome. But anyways, he is known for the Moose 1, the Moose 2. Never mind the Elk. The Elk, if you don't know what that is, quickly again, because YouTube, this is a toy. This is a brightly colored one. Different variations of this one. Never mind the two larger ones that he's made for me. And then on top of that, being creative and like taking every like video game movie reference that he can adapt to the Elk platform and add to it. Because both Captain and I, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out, WFA, or actually at Captain Xavier's live chat, and Flux has dropped a video too. He gave both of us matching Auto 9s from RoboCop and 2 Moose 1s. The Moose 1s, you've watched Chalo's range. And in the range, that's not a long place to test heavier gauge or heavier firepower.
100 feet, and it's insufficient for properly testing the Moose.
We did put one dart over it. And the one, it read, thankfully, we did not put a hole in the back of it. 240.
240 feet per second out of a Mega Dart. And if you're using Accu Fakes, they shoot straight. Obscenely straight. Like, unnecessarily straight. Like, you can hit a man-sized target at over 100 feet with a Mega Dart. If you use anything but an Accu Fake, you will hit nothing. You might hit your own foot. Because it's just too much power for a Whistler. And it's hilarious seeing somebody shoot something that's not an Accu Fake out of there. Luckily, I have lots of Accu Fakes.
Me too.
When they were ridiculously cheap for a while there, I bought a couple hundred. So I've got bins full of them. And that's 240 feet from an Accu Fake, which is the heaviest of the Mega Darts.
Yes.
So lighter ammo would go faster, but you're not going to hit anything.
No.
But an Accu Fake has 3 1/3 times the mass of a half dart. So, yeah, it takes a lot more energy to get it moving, but once it's moving, it keeps moving because it has inertia and momentum and mass on its side, which is fabulous. Yes, they've got a larger head, so they incur more wind resistance, but they don't care.
No.
I can easily hit the be prepared to stop sign with almost no arc, which just ridiculous.
Well, on that note, so then, ladies and gentlemen, we have Eric ThaMoose. Eric, man, what's shaking, brother? Oh, we got him muted.
I'm good now, right? I'm good. Okay.
Yes, you are.
It's great being with you guys here tonight. I love watching you guys during that live streams. Like, we just got this these blasters, just walking outside like a kid on Christmas, going out to shoot them immediately as soon as they're opened up.
We're taking these to the range. We're gonna go. We can. My phone. We can just take it with us. Let's go.
That's why that's why I do this. It's watching you guys have a blast with my equipment is what I get off on, and watching people play with Nerf. That's why I loan everything out at the games I'm playing at. Yeah, I got mine, but that gives me a reason to build a dozen more and just hand them out to everybody.
That is a toy, YouTube. It is a toy. Like it is a toy. It is a toy.
It's a toy. It's
Happy
a toy.
Halloween.
Toy.
Orange.
It might not matter.
Yeah, I know. Depending on the bots and whoever.
Never know.
Eric, give us a little bit of background that people don't know who you are.
Yeah,
well,
explain yourself.
Okay, so I am a large Alaskan mammal, currently living in Texas, therefore an extremely misplaced moose. I've been in the Nerf hobby now for 2.5 years, where I've actually been like participating with the local DFW group. But I've been playing with it since the Nerf bow and arrow came out and when I was a kid. And modding stuff and making dumping things on Nerf Haven a decade ago that are still like, oh, hey, that pops up when you type in Raven Master Key. Okay, well, great. Over the last couple of years, I started modding and learning how to CAD because there were things that need to be made and they hadn't been made yet. I needed to make them. I started up Moose Mod Shop after I sent a zinc to Bradley Phillips as a way to sell 10 hardware kits. Nobody's going to buy more than about 10 of these, and nobody else was carrying them. So after those went in the first couple days, I just started growing and starting to build my own stuff, design my own things from the ground up. The Moustache one was my very first blaster that I made from the ground up. I started kind of with things that I'd done with the B variant, Silly Butts, had done with the Cynthia, and mashed them together in a way that would propel darts at tremendous velocities that made me happy. Because my group has a 250 FPS cap and no limits on what type of ammo they'll allow at that. And you know what? Maybe a little sketch, but as long as we keep the MEDs up and we're not pegging people at 30 feet, we do pretty good. I've just since been designing new stuff, growing my shop, and man, it's been crazy just seeing the amount of orders that have come through on my equipment.
It's very telling. For that to happen, that tells you one thing. Well, it tells you two things. One, it is incredibly creative stuff, man, where you filled a niche. And I love it when I asked you about it, and you said, I'm a big guy. Because I'm a big guy, I want to have big things that don't feel small on my hand. I can relate, and I love it, and it's a great niche. Two, if your stuff was crap, I'm pretty sure you would have fizzled out by now.
Probably.
No, I love how well engineered it is, how absolutely solid it is. Even though it's one pin teardown, the thing feels like a brick. The quick release on the barrel, like I said, one pin teardown to get your spring out. I've seen much, much fancier blasters made by much, much fancier people that were not nearly as well engineered. There are some stuff that you're like that. It's like, this is cool, but it needed about another year of R&D to have it be solid and to have it be user friendly and extremely functional. Like the way the bolt is designed, the way you've got the bolt printed, there's so many little things about it. You're like, this was well thought out. This was well designed. This was well engineered. And every time I then pick up some of the other ones going, this one was not.
It takes the way I look at it is I built it in a way that was simple enough that I can mass produce it with the limited tools that I have on hand. It needed to be durable because I hate wobble. I cannot stand a blaster that wiggles.
Amen.
I'm going to say it is not well engineered. I did a really good job of making it very durable. Any person can build a bridge. It takes an engineer to design one that almost fails. We'll use a counter example here. Spitfire Ranger, which is the opening bid for Mega. Again, toy. It is like it. He spent so much time making this thing exactly right. And man, does it do exactly what it's supposed to do. And it does it great. And yeah, he built a bridge out of it. I put up a bunch of concrete blocks so that the thing wouldn't fall down as soon as you dropped it. And it calling it a bridge is, or
one
just like
teardown, man.
literal bricks of blasters here.
I want one of those. I want the one with the shotgun.
I
have some 40 mag shells and nothing to use them in.
The 40 max
Nothing
shell
worth using
was,
them in.
I mean, I had all this open space on the top here and
Yeah.
it's like, what needs to go in there? 40 max. 40 max was the answer. I don't have it on my like full length. By the way, these do come in full length, which is not well known. Sniper variant. This is what I've been running in the last couple of meets, taking down those shields.
Came in a half dart variant. I'd much rather have a full dart variant.
Oh no. Like, and like this one with it's doing the half mega thing. These darts, while they may not be as big, they will shoot further. They will shoot even more accurate than what you saw in the full length.
No,
but they're not hot dog size.
Yeah, and I don't want to cut them all mine down. Plus, I have lots of full mega magazines. I've got like a half dozen or so of the 12 rounders.
Oh, nice. See,
yeah, I gave one to Al because it's yellow.
I had to make my own 12 rounders. These are actually shorter than the Tyrant mags.
Yeah.
And I can pull them out of a dump pouch with the handle on top.
Yeah.
Run like 8 of these, and shield users just don't even bother to show up anymore.
That just might as well not.
I mean the reason half dart exists, or the reason the full length exists in this state, because I did start out as half length only, is because after my first 2 rounds out in my local group shooting these at them, I felt bad for the shield users because this is just terrifically accurate out to ridiculous ranges, which you've seen. This is even better. I mean, but the shot takes a second and a half to arrive. There's, maybe some wind, but it gets where you pointed it. And if you weren't paying attention, you're tagged. And if you're a shield user, you have no idea 50, 60 yards away what just happened. You just know that something hit your shield. And I'm yelling, I tagged you! It just doesn't work. It doesn't. So I, as one of the admins for our group, said, half-length mega is not shield breaking. It is too overpowered. So treat it as normal ammo. Set. That's how we've played it. But then, like, the shield users
Of course you
started
do that. You're just too nice, man.
Then the shield users came back, and I'm like, I'm not that nice. I'm really
There we go.
But I'm also more than happy to hand my equipment off to anybody to like be on the other team. I need to be able to face off against my own equipment being shot at me. That is certainly an experience right there.
We had the debate on whether half dart mega should count as mega or whether it should count as a lighter ammo, and the argument I made against making half dart mega count as light ammo was, well, if half darts are lesser than their full dart variant, then is a half dart less than a regular dart?
Truth.
Fair enough.
And then what does it do? Like it only counts if it hits bare skin? How do no.
Yeah.
Plus, we have 2 people in the Pacific Northwest with blasters that fire half mega, and neither of them have ever brought it to Borst. So if it comes up and somehow the half dart mega starts ruining the game, we'll talk about it. But until then, but in your case, it was a problem, and so I support your ruling. The problem wasn't the half dart mega. The problem was the person with Like,
especially since
I created the shield breaking rules in the first place because I was too good with a shield. Like, this doesn't feel right. We need something to counter me. And then I just don't even get around to playing much anymore. So,
well, there's that.
I think he just likes having the megaphone and yelling at people.
I do just enjoy running the games. I like watching them run well.
Yeah.
Which is why I love going to Maryland Mayhem, is I don't have to be in charge, and it's still run well.
My first outing, like I said, with my first outing with this, I made I just said, okay, I used the TLAR method for figuring out how long these are supposed to be, that looks about right. Ran it, and through these B cars, which 42 bearings, designed by Chance, who is, every so often I send him money under his door for all the work he's done for me.
Nice.
It just worked so well that I went home and immediately started designing these magazines. Now, this dart format has shown up in the Reaver, the Spamfbit Mega. That's a variant of the SBL. There's a couple of there's like one where you can put these things as an underbarrel stringer that I just saw. That's like, okay, so if you can run half Mega in a magazine underneath your blaster as like your shield breaking capacity.
Your super killer, yeah.
Yeah. So this is starting to take off because I've developed an entire ecosystem, different links, the dart cutter.
I love it.
Had the darts to throw at it. I need to go back to NF Strike. They will sell me pre-cut darts, pre-cut down, instead of me cutting them all down for everybody who buys them.
I got a jig around here somewhere.
I'm sure they're easy, but
they
want like 10,000 dart minimum order.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maybe if another shop helps me out with that, that'd be great.
Talk to Out of Darts. Out of Darts would probably be willing to help with that.
Who are
they?
I
shall have to Google that later.
I heard that there's a guy up there who's like a Dr. Flux or something who works for those guys.
He works with them now. He's the reason I've got all their cool new toys, because he actually has the time to remember to mail me stuff. Luke Goodman just didn't. They're both Luke, and it's a problem.
There's too many Lukes.
Yeah, so now they're Flux and Ood, and they're just going to have to come to grips with it.
That's right, Ood Flux, man. Actually, so then, for those that don't know, and I posted in my I won't show it here, but I post pictures of it. I probably do another TikTok with it. So the Moose 2 I got from Eric, and the Moose 2, the variant you gave me, that is the longest possible you could make it, correct?
I mean, it could go longer, but it's just adding more parts to it. It was already too heavy and too big to begin with. That is, he has the Total Intimidation Edition, which is described as nothing but and that's literally the only description. And yet, it's like, okay, I'm just going to throw this out there as a joke. Nobody's going to buy this. Like, literally sold 2/3 of my Moose blasters have been that variant. It's like, people are like, well, what does it do? How much? Just
I ordered a bipod for my Moose because it really needs one.
Yes.
And then I need to develop
one of my foam-flinging one.
I need to get a big shield for it so that I can use it like an anti-material rifle and lie on the ground at one side of Borst and snipe people on the other.
So
with a shield to protect me so they can't shoot back.
Second time outing with the Moose, my skin was like breaking out and stuff. I have eczema and it was bad. But I didn't feel like running around. It was hot. It's Texas. So I wore my flip-flops. I took a picnic blanket and a picnic basket full of Mega magazines and just had myself a sniper picnic out there and out in the field, like 30 feet behind the objective, because we were playing Titan Ball and just pegging people from halfway downfield. Just sitting on my picnic blanket, with my basket full of magazines, having a blast.
Proper Titans?
Unfortunately, no, because somebody keeps buying all those. No, we've adapted the game with Mega XL. I saw that. We've adapted that to use MXL through bazookas, through Drain Blaster bazookas. 130 FPS. Fight over a few of those and a bunch of ammo on the field, and that's how we run it. Speaking of MXL, there's something coming. You think this is bad? I mean, this leaving marks.
No way.
One of my regulars. So the story goes, one of my I'm going to call him a fan, Evan, showed up with one of these that he'd adapted to Fire MXL, and he had a B-car on it with like 60 bearings or 30 bearings, something abnormal. But he had MXL going fast and accurate. Then he went home and started working on something even bigger, and he calls it Big Greg. I think it's going to go by its more common common name, war crime, Greg, because it can fire MXL at 280 FPS accurately out of a 5-round magazine.
What?
I want one.
Yes, yes.
It's
Okay,
not
wait.
going to be cheap, but yeah,
throw money at him.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What is the name of the megafauna elk?
Oh,
Someone in the comments, maybe.
the one from the late yeah, those guys, the one with the big ass antlers, yeah.
Yeah, the thing that makes a moose look small. What is that thing called?
I forget.
Something. Yeah.
But yeah, that will be coming to my shop.
1 second, if I make a comment just before it goes wild in the chat, just also understand in terms when it comes to shipping costs and stuff like that, you got to remember a lot of our shops, as much as you think we make, man, it depends where you live. USPS keeps on going up, and we're not Amazon. I get nailed for it all the time, and trust me, Luke in terms of what they actually charge for shipping is not that bad at all. It's just the nature of the business. As much as you want to see them bury it, if a company actually starts burying shipping costs, then what you'll actually see is increase in everything else. So as much as it sucks, a lot of it is actually what we have at our mercy in terms of the different actual companies that we can use. So it's, dude, I get stuff from when I live in Northern Virginia and they're shipping from the West Coast. Shipping is shipping. I ship shoulder pads. My shoulder bags goes in a box, 30 by 18 by 16 and weighs 12 pounds. There is nothing I can do. And trust me, I've looked, unless I get some guy to walk it to you and it takes 2 years later, it's going to be 120 to 150 bucks. So shipping is just, it's, hey man, Amazon's Amazon. Amazon is a $1 trillion company. They don't care. If you all buy enough from me or from Out of Darts and make us like Amazon, dude, free shipping all day long because I am bathing in money and I don't care. In the meantime, this is the reality of it. Amazon has spoiled us, but this is the reality of small businesses, man. We got get an East Coast distributor. All right, now if we get an East Coast distributor, what does this involve? Let's see, a whole other shop. When you got a whole other shop, there is so much logistics involved. It is not easy. And as much as big as you think they are, they're not that big yet. In an ideal world, maybe, but right now, no. Right now, what they charge in shipping really isn't that bad, man. Sorry, brother. This is not you. This is just in general. I know when I get shipping questions and stuff like that, and it's just the nature of the business. Anyways, keep going.
So yeah, you talk about shipping. This guy's going to somewhere in Germany for $137 shipping. People are paying buku bucks to have heavy things moved around.
Incidentally, it's the Megaloceros.
Megaloceros.
Okay. I'll have to talk to him about that and see if he'll throw that name at it.
Yeah, use that name when if you ever make a something that fires Mega XL, there should be a Megaloceros.
Agreed. But I make tiny things.
Are you sure that's tiny? He's got big hands. He might be lying.
I might be lying. I hate when people get my stuff and go like, "Wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought in the pictures." Well, that's because I'm like,
no, you're just small.
But yeah, this little guy hits 165 FPS with a 6-round magazine.
Wow.
And Zinks are amazing. I can't make an elk do this, so this is my favorite Zink right now. But I do we make tiny things, and right now Squish is listening in. He's the one who does he handles the Zink orders right now, and the logistics of just like a guy up the road who also has a printer helping me with shop stuff is a nightmare, much less having like two locations in a big business. Right now it's just me with a few printers and Squish helping out with Zink stuff.
Very cool. Shout out to Squish, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then
it is. So wait, how many? Go ahead.
Completely shift gears.
Okay.
If you had something that was pertinent to this, bring it up first.
No,
because
no,
I'm
no, no.
going to take a left at the traffic light.
Take a left.
I finally got my hands on another AEB. I got my hands on the BK1S, and so far it seems fabulous. And now I want more AEBs. So I'm looking at the Colonel Wasp 77, which is a much more friendly shell. It doesn't look like an MP40 or an AR, which is the problem with the BK line and the original Colonel Wasp 76. I may also finally hunt down an inverted scales. We'll see. I am curious to see if we'll ever get one in the hobby. If somebody in the hobby will take like an airsoft gearbox and build a 3D printed AEB. I don't know how well that would survive because AEBs have a lot of stress. But it'd be interesting.
We actually had a couple at Endor. So Hixie brought his because he had just received it for like all of the 4 hours that he was home between your house and my house. And then he may have been there longer, like 4 hours and 5 minutes. But anyways, and then also Andrew, a.k.a. Dart Sweep, he had his as well. So there were, and I think there were a few other guys that were running the 77s. So people do complain about little things that they kind of cut costs on, but they still love them. But then there are certain parts like, man, you're killing me, but they still like them. So,
I had a thought, but it's gone now. Somebody in one of my comments, apparently their club, I don't know what club they were at or where they were located, but apparently the only thing anyone at their club runs are AEBs. The entire club has switched over to AEBs. They don't use springers. They don't use flywheelers, nothing but AEBs. And they were somehow of the opinion that that is how it is for the entire hobby. I'm going, no, I think you're, weird little pocket of AEB lovers, because that definitely is not the standard across the hobby yet.
How many people in their group? Like 3? Or...
I don't know. Again, I have very little info. I didn't dig because I didn't want to be the guy going, no, you're the weirdos, my dude.
Well, let's put it this way. They might be on the forefront.
Yeah, they might be ahead of the curve.
Yes.
But still kind of going, I don't know. I've got some blasters I'd much friends, depending on the situation. And it very much comes down to, you'd have a heck of a time running most of the modern AEBs at an HVZ, or even at many of the public wars, depending on what your FPS cap is. If your FPS cap is high enough, sure, why not? But
truth,
yeah, sure, cool.
So, are you trying to angle to get Eric to make an AEB?
I ain't that good. I'm not playing with electronics. Sorry, that's not my thing.
No, but I'm just kind of surprised that nobody has. Though I can understand why. There was a reason that Hasbro developed a couple of AEBs and then went to flywheels and never turned back. AEBs are complicated. There are a lot more moving parts. They are a much more complicated thing to build in terms of design, in terms of maintenance, in terms of cost. I think the reason the ones that we're getting now are so good is that they're coming from companies that have been doing airsoft, which are primarily AEBs. They just have a much smaller plunger tube because they're firing a minuscule little pellet instead of a dart. All they had to do was scale that up to Nerf scale, but they had the experience in how to design electronic springers. And so they didn't have to, shell out a whole bunch of money in R&D because they'd already done it, is my guess. I could be entirely wrong. But it's interesting that we've seen a resurgence of them, again, because they're so much more complicated. I mean, flywheelers are simple, but getting flywheelers up to the level of performance is more difficult. Getting them as accurate, getting them as high-powered. you start to have to look into brushless, and well, now you have to have ECSs, you have to have an onboard computer. That's going to increase your cost and your complexity, and at that point, an AEB might be easier. So, yeah,
Truth.
I'm interested to see what where the hobby goes. I mean, it's baffling how much it's changed since I got into it. When I got into it, we were still modding strifes with trust fires, man.
Same.
Then came the LiPo revolution, and now we've got copious amounts of AEBs and Mega Darts and Mega XL and people building things that can actually fire them long range and accurate, which is something for the longest time we'd given up on even the concept of having long range accurate Mega, and nobody thought you'd ever have long range accurate Mega XL, and here we are.
It's always been meme ammo. That's why it's shield breaking, is because it doesn't do anything other than just go a few feet. My group had like 30 Mega Darts in a bin for years, as like here's our loner Mega here, and now we have an entire bin that's like half full length, half length Mega. All of a sudden just pop up because I need to be able to feed everybody's moose blasters that show up.
All the box and all the land. I'm glad I stocked up on Mega XL when it went on clearance and was cheap.
Yeah, no kidding. Because we're gonna need it. Because it'll be. Yeah, it's hard to find out. Like I stocked up at Ollie's, but it's not going to be enough to keep up with demand once the new stuff comes out.
So let's just be clear: are you officially hinting or dropping that you're making this stupidly ridiculous fantasticness?
I am not the designer. It was based on stuff that I built, but Evan, one of my guys in my Discord, he's taken this since last Maryland Mayhem. He took it off and ran with it and said, I'm going to make this happen. And he's just been perfecting it more and more and more. I'm not the designer, but I am going to be one of the only people providing them on my shop. I will build you one. I will sell you the hardware. It is not going to be cheap, but it will be available. It's coming.
I have printers, so I mean, if I can get a hardware kit, I can print the blaster.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude, that is fantastic. That is all right. Yeah, wow. That's so. On the same token, this is actually a question. I got to stop, otherwise we're going to pause the stream, and both of us are going to go run and get our wallets. So, in the meantime, question actually, Eric. The best thing about it is considering how well you've actually designed these. And as Captain talked about in terms of the amount of engineering, but like how many years ago exactly did you start to teach yourself CAD?
Right at 2 years ago.
So right at 2 years ago, you figured out how to do CAD. You give us the Moose 1, the Moose 2, a bunch of Zincs, an elk, and it's a toy YouTube, the Auto 9, and the different variations, and you did that in 2 years? Like, are you kidding me, man? Like, what the?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and not only that, I probably am doing things wrong when I'm CADing stuff, but the Moustache 1 took me right at about 3 weeks to develop till the first prototype, and then about another 2 weeks until it was like, okay, this is good enough to throw out there, and nobody's giving me any feedback that it's so 5 weeks of development to get it out. The Dash 2 was 3.5 weeks. The first Elks, which this is very similar to the first Elks, this was a week and a half of development. Once I came up with the cutting tool that I could turn this into anything, then those
toys, YouTube.
Toys, the Auto 9, which I got my clear one here. Look at that, painted clear. This took me 23 hours between first sketch and a finished product that I released online, because I've got the tool to turn anything pistol shaped into an elk. If it's big enough and magging grip, I can make it this, and it all takes the same hardware, and it's all dead simple. And all of those tools are available to anybody who wants to make their own stuff and learn how to do it.
That's
just
inspiration right there.
buy my hardware if you want, or wherever you can find my hardware. I'll leave that for later. But I do it wrong, but I do it fast, and I at least especially with fast printers these days, you can iterate on things so fast. When I was building these, I had I would have in the morning I would have parts to test, make some changes, start some prints. By the next morning, I'd have another entire set of parts to work with because I had enough printing capacity to make it happen, and I spent the time to do it. And it just fast iteration, and things can just show up in the work. If I'm trying out a sear, and I'm like, does this sear work? No. Okay. 20 minutes later, does that sear work? No. 20 minutes later, does that sear work? And until it worked, and now it works.
Which is the perfect illustration of what 3D printing was always intended for, was rapid prototyping. It was never intended for end products, but we can get away with it in our hobby because of the nature of what we're doing with it. Obviously, a lot of it would be better if we could get it injection molded, but that is obscenely expensive to do.
Do you have any idea how much violence there is in one of these things that needs to be contained?
Yeah, I am. It's amazing.
How many variations of the elk do you have so far? Because then tell us that, and then I'm going to drop a question in chat.
Let's see. Halo, Fallout, Hellsing's 2, Devil May Cry is 2, Auto 9. I did the PlayStation 1 Gun Con. I made the controller, the gun con, the
I think I have one of those in a bin around here somewhere.
See, it looks great. So I made an elk out of one. So it works. I think there's a total of 9 different variants that I have now. This one I haven't even released yet. This is the 2011 version based on the Ebony and Ivory from Devil May Cry. But this was like, okay, I'm going to shorten it up, and this is my sidearm now. 200, 180 FPS.
Could you do a Nintendo Zapper? I don't know if that's going to be tall enough for where the plunger tube would be.
Yeah, I considered it. It would be big. It would be like taller than it really should be.
Well, I went with just shoving a panther in one.
But yeah, I've got, and anytime I feel like the orders have died down enough, I can stop and create something. It's been taking me between 3 to 5 days to come up with a new variant now of any pistol that I want. And I've got a short list of stuff from Titanfall and Destiny and some rhythm arcade game where the anime girl had a pink gun that's like, yeah, that looks cool. Take a picture of that. I'm going to put that up there. And it's just so dang easy now to make these things. And I want there to be, I've talked with Flip Flop Foam and his Crush, because that's like this, about as simple as a Springer can get on the inside. A Springer rifle size thing can get is the Rush. And I feel like he should make something similar to that, where you can just like model the outside and then cut all the internals out so that it will now be able to use Rush hardware to make whatever Springer variant you want. Hopefully he's working on that, because we just talked about it on Monday. But introducing this stuff to the hobby, anybody can pick up the free tools. Anybody can go out and grab the files. And if they're feeling creative and they feel like learning it, 2 years later, you can make your own stuff, or you can just start with what I've offered you and make something that works immediately in minutes if you give it a little bit of a chance.
See, this is awesome, and this is the question I just dropped into chat. I'm going to ask Chayla, I'm going to ask Captain Xavier next. But do you have any ideas? What would you love to see the Moose Eric make next in terms of an elk variant? Drop ideas now. As always, this is a great place to either get an idea or something, or an angle we never think about, or something that's obscure. With that said, Cap, which kind of variant of an elk, now that you got the Auto 9, but if one that he hasn't made yet, do you have anything that pops up in your head?
The Van Helsing one.
You'll have to send me a link on that.
No, not that one. Not Van Helsing isn't the one I'm thinking of. Trigun.
That's a revolver, though. You need a magazine and the thing.
Make it look like a revolver.
I mean, MHP already did that, but I'll consider it. I mean, the bottom barrel, you could hide the. Yeah, Trigun would be interesting to look at.
Oh, I just realized something. So would you, is there any variation that you do for like a Judge Dredd pistol?
It's on the short list.
Oh, there it is.
Lawgiver is on the short list. It'll be fairly easy to model when I get around to it because it's just kind of like a slab with a few layers to it. And it's big enough that it will fit the mold really easily. Yeah, that's on the short list. The RE45 from everywhere, Titanfall is on there.
Is there a Star Wars one?
I was trying to think of anything in Star Wars that fits that general. And I can't think of anything.
Now, if you want a Star Wars thing, we need to go take a Springer Perilous and turn that into a something.
Yeah, it's kind of like, man, because if you could find a Star Wars one, yeah, you'd be busy all day just making that. But is there
one? Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
Get theirs.
Mm-hmm.
The mouth will come for you. You will have to call it generic space battle blaster.
That's right. Well, if they keep making the Mandalorian, one's going to pop up that's going to look close enough there, and it's like, perfect. Mando season 4.
Yeah, that works.
Mando Warrior number 7, his blaster.
I mean, the brilliance is that I've got 3 sizes of hardware kits, and anything that I make in this package is going to take one of these 3 hardware kits and print it yourself. Have me print it. But all the hardware matches, everything works the same. I don't even have to test it because I know the operating system is functional. All I have to do is make the outside pretty and cut everything together, and it goes together. I got a video out there somewhere that shows how that works. It'll be interesting to see what else anybody else comes up with.
All right, so how about now that we do big and ridiculous and something, well, let's go into big and ridiculous. So then, do you have on the books another variation of a potential Moose 3 or not yet? But then I guess the side question of that is then figuring out how to use the elk platform to build it into a Moose as well as your secondary to shoot half darts if necessary with the big one and the little one. Then it doesn't have to look like an elk, but essentially taking that hardware piece and either attaching it on the top, the bottom, or side. Well, it's one of those like, you're doing this because it's fun, so I have no problem saying something ridiculous like that because you can approve. We both love the ridiculous.
Underslung on a Moose would be pretty epic.
So priming an entire K-25 way out there, that would be, yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, especially since bolt action, then I could have Well,
if you go with it the other way around, so it's mounted, the top is mounted onto the bottom of the Moose. Yeah. And the pistol is your foregrip, and you push it forward to prime.
Yeah. Okay. So just have a pick rail up here, mount up top.
Pick rail it to the bottom of a Moose and just make it a front pump half dart. Just for the sheer absurdity of it. And because it would make Al smile.
Everything he makes me smile. This is part of if he gets bored of it, he wants something stupid.
What would make Al smile is if it was double barrel version.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
This, by the way, is the very first regular half dart pump Springer I ever made. So this is my only normal thing that I have is, pump Springer.
All right, you want to make it weird?
Okay.
Keep the handle there, but put the mag in the side.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So mag like that, but instead of mag in the pistol, mag in there, and then like that, like an old Raider or Rampage.
There's a thought. So the next project, fortunately, the reason why the Moose Dash 1 was called the Dash 1, not just the Moose, was because I was already in my head thinking of how I was going to turn it into a turnaround style, which is, the Dash 2 sprung from the Dash 1. And then the operating system is a smaller version of everything I'm doing in the larger one. It's just the same plunger captured by a thing. So I went down in size. The Dash 3 hasn't spoken to me yet. Very likely I will create something that's kind of a mid-range, actually, like primary Springer rifle thing based on this general operating system.
Well, you've got a bolt action full length. You've got a bolt action bullpup.
Now I need a pump grip.
A pump action. Yeah, you need a pump action Mega Blaster that's actually truly viable. A main battle rifle.
It's something to work on. But among the reasons why I've been keeping with this, aside for the long thing, I could put a pump on this, and you've been doing this wrong the whole time. Every time I watch a video, I cringe when you prime it. You're doing this. This is, see all that muscle right there, and that distance. This makes priming these huge ass springs easy instead of fighting it. Well, yeah, and also I can slam fire these things too if I need to, but that action is so much easier than offhand way out here trying to pull back, putting all that stress on your elbow. I
can't even get it all the way back if I do it that way.
Interesting.
My arms are too short.
Oh, okay. Well, the long arms definitely helps then.
I run out of
physics, man. Physics.
Yeah, but after you get that muscles going, you can run one of these all day. Just have to deal with the bruise in the shoulder, but that's just comes with part from the course.
You're gonna make me pull like one of my. So yeah, I now actually have. So I have 3 Moose, but so I do have one. Well, one I was lucky enough that Foam-Demic sent me one, especially when the first blaster came out, and that one I'm definitely not gonna show. It is mostly black, but with the yellow. It says Moose on one side, Foam-Demic, Al the Geek. It is great, and even though
about a Moose 2, because I don't want to pay for it.
And the one from Foam, it is beautiful. It is not as powerful as the other one, but I will still be giving that one away, and it will be in a charity thing where we'll raise money to give it away because it's just amazing. But yeah, the Moose, if you all get a chance, man, and they aren't cheap, but they are so worth it, especially if you love the hobby, you love big and ridiculous, man, and you get range, and it's great, and it is hard to prime, so don't complain, but it's great. But I love it when Eric had reached out to me and said about getting a hold of Captain Xavier. And why was it you felt like he needed a Moose?
Because I'm tired of seeing him miss the 100-foot. Oh nope, like 100 feet. It's just right there. Look at what you could hit that all day. And I felt really bad for not being able to actually use your range with all the equipment you have. So it's like you need a way to be able to just hit that every.
So few things can hit to be prepared to stop. And
you're just hitting it repeatedly every single
3 times
shot.
with this thing, just tank, tank, tank. And I could pick which part of the sign I hit. It's that accurate.
Yep.
All that weight makes it, and the B-car that Chance built for me makes it ridiculous. And that's why these are my primaries. Aside for the fact that I've just, like hitting people from far away. But ridiculous level of accuracy is what I go for on all of my builds. The reason I got into designing stuff is because my Zinc needed a scar barrel, and it didn't exist yet because the 2.0 had just come out. So I made a scar barrel for it that not only worked but actually accidentally increased the power of the thing. So now these 170s could hit 190s and accurate. And that just got me in the process of, well, how can I make things more accurate? So we started doing B-cars on things. This one is the original, very third Zinc. Not the first one. The first one's kind of fell apart. But B-car was important because now I have a pistol that can hit 240 FPS where I want to, and it just lives on my hip when I need it, when my primary jams or something. The reason the Dash 1 exists, the reason this exists, is because I had a holster for this and I needed a reason to use it. Because this was my primary for months. So now I have something more accurate that can hit further away that, yeah, I love my equipment. I hope everybody else does too.
The arms race of Nerf is a hilarious thing.
And I keep bringing meta-breaking crap to my events every month for a while. And they just like every couple months, like, okay, what new thing is he going to bring that changes everything? And they get so tired of it, but also love it because I bring them to share.
You know what? Actually, at this point, let's do it. First, Wizard Builds asks what CAD software to use, and then I wanna do something. So what CAD software do you use?
Just Fusion 360. Well, I think it's just Fusion now, but yeah, it's just Fusion. It's free to use if you don't, tell them that you got a huge business running on it.
There we go. All right. So I want to show something that my wife got for me. She randomly does this. This was like a very early birthday present, and she was excited to give it to me before then. So she did, and things pop up. So if you guys know what this is, it is a self-inking stamp. Also, notice who was here last weekend and who decided to label it. So it does not say Hixie, but Hixie has labeled my self-labeling printer, and I think I owned it all for 30 minutes before he put a sticker on it. It's a cool sticker, by the way. Hixie, yeah, you can get it from him. So this, I don't know if you can see it, is what the stamp is.
How the geek approved. Amazing.
So I feel this is a great opportunity. I'm going to take the stamp. It works like this. And when it comes to Eric ThaMoose and his builds, oops, I double stamped it. It is Al the Geek approved, man. Al the Geek approved. There you go.
The best stamp I could ever have.
Oh my God, it's great. And it's almost like a tattoo as well, because Hixie and I both like stamped ourselves. And let's see if we can see that.
Yep.
There it is. Al the Geek approved.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is going to be dangerous. Oh, there's going to be a T-shirt. I think we're going to make a T-shirt. Yeah, we're doing that.
I want something similar with either my logo or the auxiliary logo or the hourglass.
Oh, that is awesome, man.
The auxiliary logo with Bangarang would be awesome. The X-Strike logo with "All Right You" or the hourglass with "All Right You Scum" would be awesome.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
The X-Strike with that, all things modular would be awesome.
Ideas, man. Merch stuff for Maryland Mayhem. You'll sell out. So then let's bring it to the next question because we're all in the same place. So then for those that were Maryland Mayhem, we'll know that Eric was out there and he did have a booth. And he was able to bring stuff out. He drove up from Texas, and Squish was with him in the booth, and the two of them were handling stuff. But is this like the first time that you've had a table outside of your own personal events?
I mean, I don't even really have a table at my own events in this regard. I mean, I build things as they ask for.
Yeah.
It was literally like my first experience selling my stuff at a table. And I just brought stuff and put it on my table and said, here's how much it costs and go play with it. And I was amazed at just how many people needed to either buy and or play with my stuff. And that was a great time. This year, I'm really, really trying to have a bunch of stuff to sell this time. I intend to have at least 35 elks that are in pieces that people could say, I want that slide and that frame and that site and those magazines, and just build it on site with from the pieces. Like have assemblies, but just put it all together for people and say, here. And that's my intentions for this next event. And I'm already starting to print for it because May isn't that far away. I'm old Time happens fast now. May is too scary fast.
It is.
Al,
It's like we get the extra month. Huh? Huh?
You good?
I'm
You have
good.
a look of consternation on your face.
I
Or is
did.
it consternation?
We have a man behind the curtain who said something, so I just wanted to make sure that everything is good.
I heard something too. I was like, wait, who said that?
Oh, I knew who said it. It's just making sure that we weren't suddenly not on air, but we're still good.
Anything
Oh my God! Look,
anybody talking?
yes, in the chat, it's funny. General Slife says for every $100 raised during Foam's giving, Al stamps himself.
We should probably talk about that, shouldn't we?
Well, here's the thing. We're trying to put it together, and it was original. So I'll make it, I guess. Well, I haven't talked to everybody, the rest of you all, but it's going to be moved, and it actually will. Yeah, it's going to probably be postponed. So Foam's Giving, we want to put together. Well, as you all know, we had great success last year, and we want to make it happen. And part of everything that we do is related to the website and being able to do it, what it is that we're trying to do. We've had challenges with the development of the website, and as I've said it before, but for those that don't know, we are a nonprofit, whether we want to be or not, because we make no money on this. We rely on the people that are involved in the WFA, on their skills, their dedication, and basically we all share the same vision in terms of what we want to accomplish. And in doing that, some of us at different points have to do more than others. And so right now, we don't have money to go hire web developers. We do have developers. However, scheduling and getting it done has been challenging just because of personal schedules to make it so. So as a result, everything that we're doing on the in terms of the YouTube channel, in terms of promoting it, in terms of stickers, signs, like I was in Bourse, I gave away a bunch of stickers and pins, and I still got more coming. It's not going away. Trust me, we're still here. But we are going to shift gears, and we're going to focus on getting our website further along than where it is now. And then when we have that, we are still doing a Foam's Giving. We may then break it up where we do a couple events, possibly one in the new year sooner or later. It depends as we get our website situation sorted. Many of you already asked us, and when you go to the website, like the ideas are there, it's going to make it all happen, but it's got to be built. So we are shifting gears where our energy is going to getting that squared away and further along than where we are now and where we wanted it to be. So as a result, we have decided to postpone Foam's Giving. However, there is still free stuff that we're going to be giving away. And so this, well, Captain Xavier and I kind of decided ourselves, but I'm sure everyone else on our team will focus, is
we
that most likely...
with them.
Well, we will,
the
but they'll be on...
to shift to the containment crew one, the socks.
Correct.
What is there? I can't remember what it's called now.
Joy of Socks.
Joy of Socks, yeah. They do their own thing. It's very similar. You can bid on stuff and people can... So we're just going to... Most of us are probably going to shift our focus there. I had blasters. I was going to donate. Al had blasters. He was going to donate. And so we're going to support that cause until we can get Foam's Giving done well and properly, because we'd rather delay it than deliver something subpar.
Correct. And like, for an example, from Mayhem, and we'll get back to talking to Mayhem, I got this one. Again, it's a great toy. YouTube, it's toy. That Eric had given me. It's one of the first Elks. And so this one is going to be going in for the to the Joy of Socks. So, and we'll be posting links on that. And they don't even know that we're shifting like this, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay with it. And like, to give you an idea, I may have already received a couple of worker seagulls that I'm actually going to be painting up in my colors and making them look cool. That will be given away. So it's not that we aren't going to be charitable. We love doing it. We will. It's making sure that we're putting our resources towards what's going to work and what's going to happen. As the WFA gains in popularity in terms of our vision and our dream, it's also like, obviously when we do this, it's a lot of fun, but this all started in terms of getting the word out there and promoting the whole idea of what we do, where we are, and the services we hope to provide. So this is cruising along wonderfully and beautiful, and we really have everyone that tunes in and watches us to thank you all for it. You guys are great, man. You guys, you're very supportive. You give us ideas. We love seeing you in places. You understand it. Your patience and everything else. We absolutely love it, and we love giving back to you all. And so part of it though is that as much as we're pushing the social media aspect along, we got to push that website along too. Um, you all need help with developing clubs, how to do things that we promised to do. So that's why this is what we're going to do. And we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing, man. By the way, if anybody suddenly realizes they have a large sum of money that they is burning a hole in their pocket and they want to donate to us buying or developing programming, we'll happily accept that. Don't feel like you have to. Oh, that's the other thing. We're not going to do Foam's Giving to raise money to build this finish kitting out our website either. No, everything we raise for that is quickly,
It's all going to
descriptively and in
charity.
detailed where it's all going. And like I said, we are a nonprofit, whether we want to be or not. We make no money, yet still I buy stickers and pins and stuff and give it away. We do this YouTube channel. We don't. I think we make a couple of bucks a month, which we throw at hosting the website and that's operating at a loss. So don't think we're cashing in. We're doing this because the idea is right. This is what the hobby needs. This is what we want to do. And you know what? We just have way too much fun doing it. So I hope that's clear. There'll be more announcements as we progress. But yeah, that's happening. And again, look at that with the bomb. All right, we've done that. Yes, that's good. Oh no, the tragedy of it. Anyways, Eric. So yes, Maryland Mayhem. Will you be back again this year, and will you have a table?
Yes and yes.
So then I think, well, you know what? This is a good chance to talk about shipping. Instead of shipping, you're going to be at Maryland Mayhem. Just give the man enough time. If you want to do pre-orders where Eric possibly brings it with him and picks it up at Mayhem, that is an idea, but I suggest doing it weeks in advance and not the day before.
Yeah, months in advance.
There
please,
you go.
Because I've got, so just for Maryland Mayhem, this represents parts printed out already now. This is like blaster parts that I'm going to be assembling, but I'm just, as the printers have time, I'll throw extra parts on. I'm getting ready for it. It's coming.
That is a smart move, man. That is a smart move. So are you 100% sure you're making it, or are you at the 80, 90%, or it's still to be determined?
95 at least. Actually, be dragging more of my DFW crew with me. One of the guys said, "Hey, I have a van. Why don't I drag you guys down?" So me and Squish, and hopefully maybe a couple other DFW crew can show up with me instead of just the two of us.
Nice, dude. That'll be awesome, man.
I agree. I'm glad I grabbed Squish last time because I was thinking I was coming myself, but man, he ran the hell out of my booth.
So if you see Eric, you'll also meet Squish. Squish is good people as well. I had time and we drug him out to Udvar Hazy again, plain nerd, and we'll have to do it again. And by then, hopefully the B-17 will be up and ready. But we shall talk about that later at a different episode. Instead of we're talking airplanes, woo!
Yes, my other love.
Airplanes, man. All right, the captain has clearly decided to do other stuff. What are you doing, man?
Fixing that Titan rocket.
Why was it broken?
It was gifted to me by the folks the homeschool folks who gave me all the cheese. They found it at a Goodwill. It came with a green Titan, the more rare green Titan, and a rocket that's head was broken off and was missing 2 fins. Luckily, I have the ability to make my own fins, and I own contact cement. So,
as they used to say, don't look at gift rocket in the nozzle or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how do you think I got so many Titan rockets? I got it by repairing broken ones. We were like, well, it's broken, so you can just have it. And you're like,
oh, that's awesome.
I did get one. My favorite one that I've gotten, or the way that I got it, is there's a guy in our group who he has taken the art of Jank to a whole new level.
Oh.
And he has built some truly amazing things.
Was he the kid at your house on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yep.
He has things like a barricade. He put 5 or 6 barricade flywheel assemblies onto the front of a barricade.
Cade.
And then he has an entire tube. He has a tube that he wears on his back that has all the cylinders in it. So he's got a magazine of tubes that he wears on his back. He also has we did an HVZ, and the rule was you could only use full-length hammer primed blasters. So hammer shots and sweet revenges and any lawbringers and whatever else. With like 3 days notice, he grafted a hammer shot onto the back of a Magnum Superdrum. So he had a hammer shot with a 40-round capacity.
That's absurd.
And he's a good enough guy that he asked first. He's like, if I did this, would you allow it? And I went, absolutely. And yeah, he outlasted everyone because he had practically infinite ammo compared to the rest of his mooks running around with hammer shots. And that's just magnificent.
What about that booper thing he built?
Which one?
The one that I use shoot the Mega XL, that booper thing you hit. It looks like a Nerf dart, but it shoots.
Yes. He made a blaster that looks like a giant Nerf dart. Because he could. But we were doing an HVZ that involved Titan rockets, and he wanted to confuse the zombies. So he had taken a Raven and integrated it into a Nerf Titan.
Like you do.
But he wanted it to look like it was a Titan still, so it needed to have the rocket on it. And he had a rocket in absolutely pristine condition, and he didn't want to destroy it. Because he is a good and proper nerfer who understands the value of things. So he reached out to me and said, hey, do you have a Titan rocket that's in really lousy condition that you wouldn't mind me, boring a hole through so you could shoot darts through it? And I said, I'll do you one better. Come over to my place, and I'll make you one from scratch. So I have black pool noodle that's about the same diameter as a Titan rocket, a little bit smaller. And I have the foam to make the fins, and I have foam to make the heads. And so we just sat down and we made him a Titan rocket from scratch that from 5 feet away, you can't tell it's not a Titan rocket. And so from 10 feet away, it absolutely looks like he's just running around with a Titan. So the bad guy, the opponents, the zombies, or whoever the other team, assumed he had a Titan and reacted as if he had a Titan, and then he unloads with a full auto Raven from the inside of it.
Come on.
There were many confused people on that field, and it was magnificent, and I got to keep the good condition Titan rocket.
Well, you don't have enough of those. You could always use more. So
I'm running out, man. I mean, they're so hard to find. I don't know how people get their hands on them.
I had an idea, so now I got to see if I make it work. Just because someone keeps putting stickers on their blasters, and I do have a small one. So
there you go. It's almost like those are your colors. Even it just matches so perfectly.
I know. Like, what are the odds of not happening? But you know what I say, right? It's Geek approved.
All better. I fixed it. All better.
Of course you fixed it.
This one's a little
fixed it.
A little wonky.
Look at that, man. Oh, that is crazy. Eric, actually, we should do this. Tell us about your Nerf club, the one you run, where it is, how often it meets, and if people anywhere in the area can come out.
Anybody can show up. We meet out during the not hell months out in Breckenridge Park in Richardson. Summer we've decided that does not cost anything for anybody who shows up. Those who can provide do. The admin who started this group 7 years ago will take donations, and we just make sure anybody who wants to play can. And that's really our goal, is anybody who can show up can. When new people pop into our Discord, we basically say, just show up. Don't buy anything. Don't spend money. Don't worry about bringing darts. Bring a cool blaster if you want to use it, but show up. We will hand you some of the coolest equipment you can have, and you'll be able to run around and enjoy it. And that point, if you're interested, spend money. Get some stuff
now
that
you know
want.
what you want. If you just go to Walmart and grab whatever looks cool, you might get something that looks cool but isn't actually fun to play with.
Yeah, I mean, those Fortnite blasters are great looking, kind of, maybe.
Great looking. Yeah, from a distance.
But yeah, I showed up to my first event with a bunch of modded Perseuses and a Captain Slug printed Caliburn, because at that time I didn't know I could print my own stuff, and realized that half of the equipment I brought was completely worthless out on a field where the sight lines are 150 feet between trees. You need something that can reach out and touch somebody, which is why I built stuff I do.
Rival wouldn't work so good there. You just don't have the range.
The great thing about Rival, though, is you have to dodge it twice, because it's like you look out, oh shoot, it's coming, dodge, and then you look back to make sure it's still coming or not, and dodge again. There it is. Just kind of floats.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that I tell people, and they're like, they ask, what's the best blaster for this, or what's the best for this, and you're like, it depends where you're playing, who you're playing against, what the terrain is. Borst is relatively close quarters because we have so much cover. Other people are playing in completely open fields, and you can have the FPS of 240 because you're never going to be never closer than 75 feet from each other, because there's just no cover, so there's no way to cover the ground. It's different for everybody, So
we were playing capture the flag, basically, and my strategy for the last game we played was I took this thing and just moseyed out 100 feet sideways from where everybody was at, totally flanked the imposing team, and they either had to deal with me pegging them from the side, or the people actually trying to get to the objective. And that's the sort of thing you can do with a big open field, is just go play sniper by a tree until somebody came up to me and had me on my back trying to peg him as he was charging me. It was great fun. But
but somewhere like my arena, you'd never use a blaster like that in my arena, because you're never more than 20 feet from people.
CQB
through the tarps.
Yeah, exactly. You could put a bayonet on it and stab them from the next row. Yeah, that, and you'd be putting holes through my tarp, and I'd be very annoyed.
I mean,
well, if you need peepholes,
this thing's
a fun way to put in peepholes. Quick question, Cap. On Friday, last Friday, when people sent you stuff, you got a certain sign.
Yes. I did.
And Xfox has railed in 20 feet, more like 10 feet.
Yeah, the trees are 8 feet apart, and there's several places where you're at least 2 tree lengths away. That'd be 16 feet. It's fine. A lot of it is a 10-foot engagement range, yes. Especially if you're coming out of a door.
I won't be surprised next time he's at your range, he'll bring a tape measure.
Yeah.
I might be pointing at something.
Did you steal my sign?
No, I got one.
Did you steal my sign?
Is it down on the ground, like leaning against something?
I don't know.
I know, that's why I'm making suggestions.
Then it could be anywhere. It could be buried under a box.
Is it under the table? Is it right on the table, right there? But
I
to
think
your right,
it's on the table,
stuff?
but it's buried by other stuff.
All right. As soon as he finds it, yes. So, As you noticed, the "Get Off My Lawn" sign, Captain Xavier has one now as well. So it now makes it official that we are in many locations, coming to a house near you soon.
Terrifying.
It is. Yes, it is. We should get him more. He'll just post them all over his front lawn to keep people off. Actually, we're going to do that next time. I'm going to dig a hole, put a post on your property, and stick the sign on it.
I mean, if you can find the sign, because I can't. I got nothing, man.
It's got to be there. Is it flipped upside down? Because remember, we put stickers on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I found the box. Oh, wait. It was buried under the detritus on the table.
That's where it was last.
Very creased. I think I got a cheap one.
I want you guys to recognize that what just happened here from one guy on one coast knew where the thing on the other coast was buried. This is the sort of thing my girlfriend would do.
Let me see the back. Let's see the back of yours. Oh, yeah, no, you got a much nicer one than I did. Mine's really
bigger.
thin aluminum, but they rolled the edge to give it a little more strength, but it doesn't work.
This one's good for wrestling. You could come up and go, oh, you could actually we could actually be like WWE wrestlers. You just hit people with it and go. Yeah,
and
that's
here's
right.
Captain Xavier with the aluminum sign.
Oh. Aye. Shout out to Dustin Bergen. Thank you for that, man. That was awesome, brother.
Yeah.
That was very thoughtful.
I got the Get Off My Lawn shirt now too.
Yes, mine's upstairs. Today I wore an Out of the Geek one, but yeah, we have.
I'm actually also wearing an Out of the Geek shirt.
Oh.
Was it laundry day? Were we out of shirts? Is that what happened?
Apparently.
Oh, that is funny.
Find it on my shop if you want one. Some nice, some nice
merch.
Hot Coin.
Buy his merch.
Hot Coin did this great Moose logo for me. It's just fantastic.
That is cool, man. That is very cool.
I thought so. I was willing to pay him money for that, and then I put it on everything I could.
So, by the way, Eric, Evan is in the chat, and he's asking you to talk about Big Greg again.
Oh,
I think he wasn't in earlier, so that's why he doesn't know. But go ahead, reference it again.
You already talked. Too late. I want one. Send me one. We will only talk about it if you promise to send me one.
See, he needs one. Evan, we need to get him one, and then we need to get him one, and
in my color,
in
left-handed.
So, I talked to him about that. Big Greg, the one that I want has a handle on both sides, so you can prime it into your chest. Because I don't know what kind of spring he's putting in that, but it's a spring and a half. And he's been.
You need to put a lever on that thing. Get us a geared prime, man.
And he isn't just getting stuff from me. He's talking to Tinkershot to get like the most out of it. And yeah, 280 FPS MXL is a little terrifying.
That is. That's a little bit frightening.
And it's accurate. It's accurate.
Either put a lever or maybe a geared system in there to make the prime a little bit easier. Motor assist.
Okay, so realistically, with
a foot stirrup, so you could.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a crossbow.
With the two ropes that you can just pull back to get double the leverage. Yeah, that's a great plan. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that.
But seriously, look at the inside of a Centurion and use the geared prime. It will make for a really long prime.
Start doing push-ups. Come on, man.
Leverage, man. No, we are not monkeys. We use tools. We have the lever. We have gears. We have mechanical advantage.
Pull-ups, man.
But yeah,
no,
imagine...
I'm an old man.
Me too. My shoulders are toast. Yes, tools. I'll support tools.
Yeah, when Big Greg hits my store, which as soon as Evan gets me some files, no, maybe not, because I need to kind of probably wait till January, because Black Friday sale is going to happen starting on the 15th, so the few people are paying attention. After first of the year, I'm going to start doing, visit the shop. Big Greg is going to be something else. War crime, Greg. People are going.
Can we get it? Can we get something with a field carriage?
Evan, on you. You're on it, right? Right.
I'm thinking just a miniature howitzer.
23 tops right now at 278. Oh man. Okay, Evan, how many bearings do you have on the B car that you're currently using for that?
All right, we were while he's looking that up. That means at Borst we were hitting the fort. I feel like with the big Greg, it'll be going over the fort.
Just stop angling it, I guess.
Then we'll
So
put it
that's why
through the fort.
you get it set up as a howitzer. So the whole point is to angle it, and then you can set up area of effect type thing. I wanted to do that for years of creating a grid on the play field using like the soccer thing used to spray lines on a soccer field, and having it where if large ordnance lands in your square, you're dead. You've been hit, and then you could have two area of effect. Because otherwise, trying to go, well, if you're within 10 feet of where it lands, well, yeah, you can't measure that. But if it's just, no, it's in your square, you're out. Now, if you're right on the line and it's, 3 inches from you on the other side of the line, you're safe because that's how the physics of this world works.
Oh, so Minecraft, but Nerf.
Yeah, but then you could do things like grenades and howitzers and artillery where it would actually have an area of effect.
By the way, Evan has chimed in 50.
50 bearing B car on Big Greg.
Oh,
So
this
an
one's
entire
only
pack.
32.
Yeah, I know, right? I just feel like bearing inefficient here or something.
Bearing envy?
These things take so much time to put together, but everyone.
When I got to look at it, I'm like, wait, it's 6 rows of 7 bearings? Good Lord. There's people out there that try to claim that B cars don't do anything, and I think they're full of hooey.
Yeah, no. B cars changed the entire game in our field. It really did. And then, everything else changed too. But
arms race. It's been going on since I joined.
And in my group,
I remember when the Elite Dart changed everything. They had such better range and accuracy. It was incredible.
Yeah. Back when that mattered.
Back when you were shooting 75 FPS was impressive.
What?
Remember, 165. 165.
Yeah, exactly.
200.
What?
220 if I get it right and fresh lube.
Yeah. $50 at Walmart will get you something that'll hit 200 FPS.
Toys, YouTube, toys.
We live in a different world. All right, now that we only have 7 minutes left before the end of the stream, we can show all the stuff and see what happens.
The moose.
I guess we'll go back to my black props again.
Toys. These are all toys. 3D printed blaster toys.
Orange. These guys are going up on the site here in the near future with all the pretty colors and white text on them. Helsing, the same thing is happening with Ivory are currently on the printers right now to get all the gold inlay on all the parts that need it. And it'll be beautiful. Expensive.
Yes, it will.
Beautiful.
Dude, like this Auto 9 is just stupid. Like I love it. And I love all the mags that you print. Like for those that don't know, like Eric, the mags are the ones that he prints and sends you, and you can buy extra mags as well, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Not
and
only
they're
that,
interchangeable too.
the longer one, well, yeah, I can use it on any of them, but the longer ones, like these guys, look, this one doesn't have it. They'll have catches for a Nightingale, so these will work in a Nightingale. The catch that's on it is for a Diana, so these were made for a Diana. Yours is missing it because I didn't include those in the longer ones, but the ones that I'm printing these days, the longer ones will work in a Nightingale or a Venom or anything else that takes a Nightingale mag geometry. Those will also work in a Diana. These I cannot take full credit for because I just kind of slightly modified ones from Red Cowl. He made these things. They're called the Compound Mag. They were originally designed to work in Diana, in a Fire Rat, in a Nightingale, and I needed something that was not unique. So I wanted something that could be transferred to other blasters, and the Diana catch just ended up exactly where I wanted it on where the trigger guard met. So I adopted his design, and I'm not going to say I perfected it, but I certainly made it work. And I've printed probably a hell of a lot more of them than he has.
Dude, how cool is that, man? So also, Eric, let everybody know what you sell and where they can find you. Can they, like, for example, is it just kits or completed ones as well?
I'm selling hardware for everything at reasonable prices. I am selling completed blasters at somewhat reasonable prices based on how much time I have. Right now, you can find them on moosemodshop.com and watch for announcements. I'm running a Discord server for those of you who play on Discord. That
yes, he is.
I dump announcements as things show up. That's where the first announcement for Black Friday is going to happen, telling everybody how to take advantage of it. And then the next day I'll actually let everybody else know. So hit up my Discord server. We talk there all the time. If you need help building your thing, either I will be there because for some reason I'm perpetually online, or somebody else who knows what they're doing will probably be able to chime in and help you out as well. Love to see you there.
Can you now see both my moose?
It's so black.
They're on the wall, so you should be okay.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, that is awesome.
It's beautiful.
Rated.
It is, man. It is.
You can also find my stuff on Jade's website at Foam-flinging. She will sell you stuff, and I will get credit for it. I'm generally the one carrying the hardware on everything at this point, but she will sell completed blasters as well that are great in their own right and cheaper than what I can produce them for.
And remember, it's
Foam-flinging Etsy.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Foam-flinging Etsy. If you go to foam-flinging.com, it goes somewhere else, which is a whole other topic I don't want to get into, but it's kind of dirty. But
Fair
anyways, Foam-flinging Etsy. Foam-flinging Etsy, you can find it. That's where I got mine from. Never mind everything else that Jade makes. There, you want it. It's pretty fast. It's some great stuff. And of course, if there you go, Eric, right there. If he's busy, you can go to Foam-flinging. Otherwise, you go there. If you want requested funny things like mine, where you think, I'm sure she'll take requests. You just message her and see what she can do for you.
But yeah, if you want my equipment, you want hardware, you want something that you can print up that does amazing stuff, come find my shop. Come go to her shop. Stay tuned for more announcements.
The other thing is, now that you know, for Maryland Mayhem, he'll most likely be there. And if you're planning on Maryland Mayhem and you're going to come to it, that'd be great. And if you realize right now you need about 5-6 months to save up for it, you've just gotten the heads up. You'll save on shipping, save your pennies, put the order in about a month or two in advance, give them money
at your luggage, and you can save on the shipping. Yeah.
Correct.
Don't try to ship. Don't try to put these in luggage. It just don't work.
The barrels come off as long as you got a large enough suitcase. I travel with a trunk. This would fit in my trunk.
3-foot bars don't go in the overhead bin.
Go in a rigid trunk and check luggage.
Yeah.
It is true, man. It is true. Awesome. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, Eric, thanks again for coming out in the show. Love having you, brother. If you get the chance to talk to Eric, talk to Eric. He's just a great human being. He's a very friendly, nice man. He's a smart guy. He's a smart dude, man. He is awesome. Don't be mean to him. Otherwise, don't be mean to him.
Get him on this show.
I know. I think I told him it was a call-in show for something else, and so we tricked him, but don't tell him that.
And now get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, so again, if you haven't already, be sure to follow and like the YouTube channel. Also, worldfoamalliance.org. That's where you can find us. Go ahead and register. Again, Foam's Giving is being postponed. It is being postponed as we're trying to focus and develop our website. You know how to follow us. Find us on Facebook, follow us on socials, and go check out the cool things that we do. Oh, Episode of The Range tomorrow. What do we got, dude?
We got you, me, and Hixie running amok.
Tomorrow on The Range, man. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. With that said,
a lot of bottle contests, mostly bottle contests between.
I forgot. Yeah.
So we've got the ALL 160 versus the SBF or SBL 2. A lot of that.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
You get to see Hixie break tier.
Hixie broke tier.
Reoccurring issue, blew the flywheel because the man does not understand short controlled bursts.
But it happens. Anyways, go check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, be good to each other. Go register. Do your whole thing, man. Now do me a favor. Get off my lawn, man.